Hi guys, welcome back to Delicate Moments Custom Dresses. My name's Steph. In today's video, we're going to be making a romper.
Do you believe in magic? Delicate moments that last forever.
Today we're going to be working on a romper. I've decided to line the romper in purple and have like a dress over the top, so to speak. We're going to be using a cotton from Timeless Treasures. So as you can see, we've got pastel colours running through. I'm going to add a trim to the bottom of this. So this piece will be the skirt around the romper. I'm going to have a couple of ruffles running down the front. It is quite a complicated make. There's a few different pieces. These 3 pieces here are just for the top bodice. And then obviously these 2 pieces are for the skirt. This will be the romper cover. Let's get started. I'm going to be starting with the ruffles. This pattern is going to have 2 ruffles down the front of the bodice. I'm going to do one in purple to match the lining. And I'm going to do the other one that sits on top. I'm going to do that in the main fabric, the checked one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlock the edges on each piece and then fold them up twice and then sew them in place, and that will create our hem. So I'll get that done now. We've now prepared our ruffles, so we're just going to set them to one side and we're going to start working on the bodice. So we're just going to clip the lining pieces together first, right sides together, and then we're just going to join all these pieces at the shoulder seam.
Different steps, but hearts aligned. 3 small worlds in perfect time.
So we've got all our pieces now. What I'm going to do is sew them in place and then press the seams open. So we now have all our bodice pieces connected. So this is our lining, this is our middle bodice piece, these 2 are our side bodice piece. So now we need to sew some gathering stitches in the ruffles that we were using before. So I'll get that done now. So now we have all the gathering stitches sewn. We're going to be working on the bodice. We need to gather these ruffles the same length of the bodice. I'm now going to add the ruffles to the bodice. So I'm going to put the narrower ruffle on first because I want that one to sit on top. So I'm going to place them right sides together, and then I'm just going to go along, even the ruffles out, and clip them in place. Now I'm just going to base that in place so it doesn't go anywhere. So now that I had the temporary stitch in place, I'm going to move on to the next side and do exactly the same. So now we've got our outer ruffle on, we need to add our inner ruffle, so that's the purple one. I'm going to do exactly the same again. I'm currently waiting on some ribbons to be delivered for the side tie, so we're going to set this aside and start working on the bottom half of the dress. So first of all, I'm going to be making the romper. I've got my two romper pieces here. I'm just going to place them right sides together and pin at the side seams. I'm going to sew that in place and then I'll overlap the seams. Now I'm going to add the bias tape to the legs. That'll just make a casing for the elastic. So I'm going to pick out a colour of bias tape. So turns out the only colour I don't have is lilac. So we're going to go for pink. We've got pink in here, so I think it'll be absolutely fine. So we're just going to attach the bias tape.
There's a fire burning low in the midnight air, and the embers glow soft and red.
I'm going to do the same on the opposite leg. Now we've got the bias tape on both sides. What we're going to do is I'm going to take it to the iron board, press it down, flip it over, flip it in place and then sew it again. So I'll press that and I'll come back.
We sing a field where the children ran barefoot under the summer sky, of laughter loud in the golden light before we knew.
So now I'm going to add the elastic into the elastic casing. I'm just going to pop the safety pin into the elastic and then thread it through.
Every moment caught in a simple song that we didn't know we need. So play it slow.
Once I get to the end, I'm going to remove the safety pin and then sew that in place. Then we've got one leg with elastic in. We are now on the next day. Today we're going to be going back to the body. My ribbon arrived last night, so we're going to attach this to the body. So we're going to put one on each corner and we're just going to baste them in place. We've now attached the ribbon. We need to attach the side pieces now. So what I'm going to do is grab the side pieces, right sides together, and ease it round the curve. I'm joining the side seams. Sorry, the shoulder seams.
Now the fire burns low and the voices fade, but the song still lingers on.
Now I'm going to sew this in place with 1/2 inch seam allowance. We're now going to do the same on the opposite side. Now I'm going to trim the seam allowance and then press. Now I have all that pressed, what I'm going to do is just top stitch down the front and that'll secure our seams in place. Now it's time to add the lining, and I'm just going to connect it all up, flip it to the neckline and then sew around. So I'll join the side seams up first and then just clip it all in place.
Started with a piece of cloth and the plan in mind. Lines on.
So now we've attached the lining, we need to sew up the armholes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fold these ruffles out of the way, separate the main and the lining. Then we're just going to clip the armhole together and then we'll sew that and then that will close our armholes. So I'm quite confident now that we've not got anything caught in the stitches. So now it's nice and prepped. I'm going to join the lining and the main pieces now at the side seams. I'm going to do that by just matching up the lining and the main, and then we're going to sew that in place. Do exactly the same on the second side. So now this is our bodice almost complete. All that is left to do is add the buttonholes at this stage. We need to pick some buttons. Yeah, we've got some perfect purple buttons. So it's time to finish off the romper. Yesterday we got the elastic casing in. So now we're going to be adding snap plackets to each end of the crotch area. So now we're going to be focusing on the skirt. We're going to get our skirt pieces, place them right sides together and attach them, and then we're going to add our hem. So I've chosen to add this beautiful little trim onto the hem. So we've now added the trim. What we're going to do now is we need to attach the romper and the skirt together. So I'm going to place the romper inside the skirt, and then I'm just going to align the centres, clip it in place, and then clip it in place all the way around. We're now going to be working on the back of the romper, and we need to make a cut for our placket. So I'm just going to base stitch a box around here to keep it in place. Now I'm just going to cut this plastic, and we're going to attach our placket. So now I've folded the placket, I'm just going to stitch that in place. And then I'm just going to take out this temporary stitching that we put in around the back. I'm just going to fold the left side over, just base that in place. That'll make it easier when attaching the romper. So now we have the placket fully complete. We need to attach these two layers together. So we've got the romper underneath and the dress on top, but we're going to need to gather this so it fits the body. So what I'm going to do is sew 2 lots of gathering stitches all the way across the waist seam. So now that we have our gathering stitches in, we need to gather the skirt to the same width as the body. So we're going to turn our romper inside out. I'm going to place right sides together and put the bodice inside the top. I'm going to match up the side seams. Now we've top stitched, we're going to need our button buttons, and we're going to mark off where our buttons need to go. So as you can see, we've got 3 dots on the fabric. 1, 2, 3. Now we're just going to attach our buttons. we haven't put the snaps on the snap placket, just so then we can close the romper. So we're going to do that now.
Don't slow down, keep it going, feel the rhythm, feel it flowing. All the time you gave to this leads you right to moments like this. It's all coming together.
So now I am going to take it and give it its final press, and then I'll be back. We've now completed the romper. I think it's absolutely stunning. It's turned out exactly how I had it in my head. Fabric just goes really nice with this romper. The trim that I've added just adds something a little bit extra. I think that's turned out really well. I absolutely adore the double ruffle. It just makes it very girly. I love these little delicate bows on the side. I'm glad I decided for this size ribbon. I was going to go for a bigger ribbon, but I think this just looks perfect. So this is actually being made for a 2-year-old, which is perfect for a 2-year-old because underneath you've got the romper, so they won't be showing anything. And I just think it is so beautiful, it's so girly. Again, I enjoyed making this dress. A little more went into this dress, obviously with the double ruffle, but nothing too complicated. I think it looks absolutely beautiful and I'm really glad I made it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. You'll see lots more dresses like this being made. I've just had a huge delivery of custom fabrics. There's some gorgeous vintage fabrics in there. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Now for the glamour shots.
Believe in magic stitched with love. Little dreams fit like a glove. Moments fade, but threads remain. Sewn in memory, joy and grace. Softly sewn in golden light. Little dreams take gentle flight. Every stitch a story told. Hearts and threads of silver.